Boys. Shirts.
Boy
Mugs.
shirts.
Buy
Boy
'em.
mugs. Buy them. Boys.
Yeah. I was standing on the corner selling shirts. Boys. Tea spray. Buy my shirts.
Yeah. You know what that's called?
Buy my shirts.
Advertising. Advertising is the wave of the future. Teespring.com/stores/the Wine Boys. T-shirts are flying off the shelves. Please buy them. We have many different colors, many different schemes, many different sizes of boys.
Ooh.
But you are here
Small
for
boys, medium boys, large boys, extra large boys.
as my mom would say, you're a baby bear. You're just right.
A medium boy in a medium shirt. A medium boy in a medium shirt. Boys.
Okay, so basically what he's trying to tell you is that we have shirts in medium. That's good. Anywho, you can find us on social media at WineBoysPod. And also you can go ahead and follow our other accounts on various other social medias on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and Snapchat, I think. We don't use that shit anymore. When's that going to go away?
Snapchat?
Yeah. Ever?
It's coming.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's coming.
Yeah. Instagram's going to be like, we'll just take your filters. And they're like, oh, okay.
No, they already did.
I know, basically.
You know.
And what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, well I'm at the Zach Edward on Instagram and Twitter, most predominantly. I have nothing to update you guys on as far as life and stage shows are concerned because we are really close to a shutdown again. Dangerously close.
Yes.
Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone close.
Yep.
It's gonna be winter is coming.
Yes. It's going to be a cold winter.
All over us.
Yes.
So curl up with a nice book and a nice glass of wine and
Yeah.
maybe think about your future.
Yeah.
You know, sell your house,
Yeah.
get rid of the kids,
Yeah.
leave,
Go to Florida.
leave.
Go to Florida.
No, leave the kids, leave your wife.
Yeah. Okay.
Make the adult decision.
You know what? I'll think about it.
Go to Vegas.
Okay.
Don't come back.
Okay.
Go to here's a great story.
Become a blackjack dealer.
Here's a great
Hold
story.
on, let me introduce myself. Boys,
Yeah.
at Lord Gerald on the Twitters and the Instagrams.
Be like my grandfather.
Okay.
Here's what my grandfather did.
All right. Hold on. Save this for the other side of the...
Okay.
All right.
All right. Words of wisdom about grandfathers going to Vegas and
Yeah.
more on this edition of the Wine Boys podcast.
All right. Yeah, you gotta warm them up a little bit. You can't just jam it in there while the slow jams are still playing.
That's true.
You gotta get them warmed up.
Yeah.
You know,
A little foreplay.
let's get a little liquored up first. We'll have a little wine, and then
our true feelings will come out.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Okay,
You know?
you're right. Thank
know?
God for my therapist.
Yeah.
Really
We
walked me
gotta
off the edge there.
We gotta ease into how toxic we are.
That's right.
Yep.
And that's really great because getting drunk helps with that. So we should.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's shit.
All right.
Say no more. Say less, bruv. Hi, I'm Gerald,
And I'm Zach.
and we are the Wine Boys. Rain down on me, let your love and shower me. Just rain on me. Good morning, boys.
Wake up, goddammit.
Boys.
Well, that is something.
You horny?
I am not dry.
All right. Good. Every little
All right,
drip
that's it.
drop just.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
We're
Boys,
gonna
we got to wine tonight.
We're gonna get in trouble.
Boys, we got to wine tonight.
We do. We have a wine every night.
It's a Riesling. 2018.
Are you trying to reason with me about this Riesling?
Reason about a Riesling? I don't know.
Good name for a wine. Yeah.
You know what? We better cut that out. Not saying we have a wine coming, but we're about to drink one. Boys, This is called Paul Barn Riesling. By the way, the artwork on this bottle does like not fit the name. Paul Barn Riesling.
It's just called Paul Barn.
Yeah.
Which I like the name of it because I just like anything that's named like generic, very middle of the road white guy names like Paul or like Jack, like stuff like that.
Paul Barn Wine.
Yeah, Paul Barn Mall Cop.
Yeah,
it's
just imagine an overweight middle-aged white man with a mustache,
like sipping wine, sitting in a hammock.
Yeah, he's
laying in a hammock. He's not sitting in a hammock.
Yeah.
First of all, impossible to sit in a hammock.
He's probably wearing overalls with no shirt under. Yeah.
He's got a piece of hay hanging out of his mouth.
Make a damn good Riesling.
Had a good long day's work on the vineyard. I stomped out grape. Actually, my wife Penelope stomped out all those grapes.
His wife Penelope.
Penelope Barn.
Penelope Barn.
I now pronounce you Paul and Penelope Barn.
Let's see. So this is a 2018 Riesling. Let's read the back of the bottle because the front of the bottle is very light on words.
It just says Paul Barn.
Yeah, Riesling 2018, Paul Barn in like big letters. Paul Barn, the passion of wine. Riesling, medium sweet. With a golden color. Oh, they spelled color with a U. So it's a fancy boy.
Color.
Oh, it's a German wine.
Yes.
Okay. With a golden color, this wine offers a nose of great finesse, fresh and fruity with delicate aromas. It will go wonderfully well with seafood, fish, white meat. Oh, seafood and fish. Ain't that the same shit? Anyway, seafood, fish, white meats, and or there's like stuff printed over the end of the. I can't really make it out.
It's all right. It's not that. It's not that important.
It's important.
Is it?
It's important. All right, so it's a product of Germany, and it contains sulfites. I'm just a little disappointed. Like I got all the way up to the end, and then just couldn't come. Like it's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
What else? We'll make some shit up.
Imagine how
whatever.
she feels.
Exactly. We'll make some shit up what it pairs with.
Is it me?
White meats or an Alaskan whore. Okay. Let's get it in there. You got the thing?
I do get the thing.
All right.
So, yeah. Do you have a bottle opener? You do.
Of course
okay.
I do.
I was gonna say,
This is
all right.
This is the designated Boys Lounge bottle opener.
All right.
Keep it
So
here.
this is Paul Barn Riesling. It's from Rheinheisen, Germany.
Ooh.
Yes, Ramstein, Germany. It is a 2018 bottle of Riesling. We're going to get nice, light, dry, and acidic tasting notes. We're going to be looking for bright citrus fruits, mango and pineapple, lemon. We're also going to get a little bit of green apple and pear, which is very cognizant of almost all Rieslings because of the acid content. So it'll probably have nice grippy tannins on the back end, and it's going to be very easy to drink. Pairs well with cured meat, pork, shellfish, spicy food. Ooh. Spicy food and Riesling kind of go together like peanut butter and jelly because the acid breaks up all of the spice.
Of course.
So it's very helpful. That's why they say if you actually have spicy food, buttermilk is actually the best thing to drink.
I've heard that before.
Which is because of the acid content. And also poultry for this as well. Like a duck would go very well with this.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, this was sealed pretty tightly.
Yeah. Well, it's a German.
Yeah.
You know.
They're always sealed tight.
They're always sealed tight. They like to keep their opinions close to the vest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Fuck yeah, I'm ready. Oh,
there we go.
Very delicate. The thing I enjoy most about Rieslings is that they always tend to be in these long neck bottles, which I really like. I like long neck bottles in wine and beer.
Yeah, it's a thin, long bottle. It's like the Virginia Slims.
It's the Virginia Slims of wine.
Yeah, you know. Smell that corky boy. It's got a good aroma to it. Light, floral.
I get pineapple.
Yeah. fruity. Yeah, it's a good sign so far. All right, get that camera ready, ho.
It is.
Get it fucking ready. Shit.
All
right, you ready? Smooth that. When in doubt, label out. Okay.
Delightful. Dare I say, decadent.
Oh. You know what pairs very well with Riesling?
What?
Barbiturates. Benzodiazepine.
Benzodiazepine.
I'll take another Xanax, Karen.
Yes. Now, remember what happened last time on Bob's yacht? You almost drowned that day. We thought we were going to lose you that day.
Yeah, the deckhand, Elliot.
Oh, what a savior. He's so strong in the shoulders.
So strong. I had him ravage me in the shower.
Yes. While Bob was out playing golf with his friends. Or should I say the Mexican cartel. Yes, Bob's a money launderer. Now, that's why Bob has a yacht.
All right.
So, I like how very clear this is.
Yeah, well, opposite of what we drank last week.
Which was natural wine, which was phenomenal.
That was a great wine.
Yeah, I'm
Nakin, I believe.
Yes, it was called Nakin. It's in the archives, boys. Check it out. I'm a big fan of natural wine now, and I would like to drink more of it. So, but I've been craving a Riesling. Haven't had one in a hot minute.
Cheers. Let's see.
Yeah, tits the season for one too.
Okay.
It's sweeter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I get no alcohol from it. It almost tastes like apple juice, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Here's why I get in trouble with the sweet ones. They take me back to my Kool-Aid youth.
So you just want to keep pounding them?
And I end up drinking the whole bottle.
My Kool-Aid youth.
This is my Kool-Aid youth. It's a high sugar content.
I like it, though. I mean, it's...
it's
the acid slows you down. So you get that tight feeling in the back of the jaw. This is actually very easy to drink.
Oh, yeah.
Very bright, incredibly pineapple-y.
Yes,
really.
very. I see that acidity in there. It's also very sweet.
It's good, though.
But it is good, yeah. It is good.
It is good. Look at us putting out some hitters these last couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. Fucking dingers, bro.
Yeah, just fucking dingers, dog.
Oh, over the fucking fence, bro.
Might as well just call us the Bash Brothers. We're just smashing dingers last couple weeks.
Yeah, this is...
I'm McGuire. You're Canseco.
Okay.
It's because you're darker.
Okay.
And because...
Well, I just imagine...
I feel like I appropriate better with Mark McGuire.
Okay.
And I take steroids.
Yeah. I mean, I get Canseco vibes from the weirdness.
Yeah.
Always putting on cherry chapstick. Like, just who he is. That's who I am in my heart. You know,
Yeah. Your spirit animal is Jose Canseco.
Yeah, Jose Canseco. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in Oakland just shooting fucking...
If you were a baseball player from the 80s, who would you be? Like, would you be Jose Canseco?
Probably.
I would be Dennis Eckersley.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of gangly.
Okay.
And I can't hit.
Yeah.
But I can pitch.
Or might be fucking Randy Johnson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he
stat.
came around like, yeah. He's also 9'2", so it's like...
Yeah. He's a big lumbering white man.
Yeah.
Who can...
Texas strong.
Yep, he can throw a baseball 182 miles per hour.
He once murdered a bird.
I saw that video.
Mid-flight with a ball. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, boys, if you haven't seen that, Randy Johnson bird, that's all you need to see. He throws a fastball so goddamn hard, he makes a bird explode.
Yeah, so yeah, Randy Johnson.
What
that's
a
exactly
one in a
who I'd
million
be.
thing to happen.
Yeah.
You have a baseball coming at you, and a bird just at the same time, it's just like, I'm going to end it.
Fuck it.
God damn it. Fucking Karen had her 9th egg today.
I can't do this anymore.
How?
I
I can't just keep eating the worms and feeding it to the kids and eating the worms and feeding it to the kids. When are you guys going to leave me a worm for myself? I'm going to end it. And he's just hanging out in the eaves at the Arizona Diamondback Stadium where there's a nest inside of the stadium. And he looks down and he's just like, I bet that fastball will end it. I'm going to do it.
Who's that 9 foot tall big old Texas man slinging his missiles?
I'm just imagining it from the bird's psyche, like where he's coming from. That was a suicide attempt.
Oh yeah, but imagine how fast that bird would have had to be flying to get hit by that ball.
Yeah. Oh, he was trying to end it.
Had to be, because that ball, he was throwing fucking bullets. Like,
yeah, Randy Johnson, even at at almost 40, was still throwing 95 miles per hour. Mind you, 95 miles per hour at 6'10", super helpful to be that tall.
Oh yeah, because you're throwing it downward.
Yeah, velocity. It's all in.
Well, think about it. I mean, most of the pitchers in the MLB are over 6 feet tall. Like you got to be.
Yeah, it's all about that kinetic energy. You got to you got to start from one place and get it up.
Right. Also, one thing I found out, which I did not know this, a lot of the guys that pitch in the major leagues actually don't start out as pitchers.
No, very rarely, actually.
Yeah. Most of those guys played like center field or some shit.
Yeah, there are some guys nowadays, because the pitching position in the MLB is like, you kind of find a guy 1 out of every 10 is, a day one everyday starter, or every 5-day starter. And they kind of they are a dime a dozen. So you really have to be cognizant. That's why they're getting kids that are like 16 years old out of high school, because they have they've got nothing on their arms yet. Right.
Like their arms are just getting into.
They're just starting to develop.
But the thing is like, if you're out of college at this point, like you pitched in the, the college World Series or whatever, like your arm is fucking shot by the time you get to the majors.
I mean, some guys can handle it because they understand how to it becomes an issue of resting and management. So if you got a strain, or something's going to be hurting you in the next couple of days, they take days off, like full days off from everything. So like in between their starts, they're 5 days off. They don't even work out. Like they'll just be like, I throw a ball for a living, so just a lot of stretching exercises, elongating the muscles. Yep.
Staying home, just stretching today. No working out, no nothing. Can't do anything to weights, forget it. Are they allowed to masturbate?
Well, yeah, because the wrist strength for the curveball. So
okay.
That'll be really helpful.
But you don't want to be in a situation where you actually strained your wrist while masturbating prior to a game. So maybe...
Well, they're usually ambidextrous. So, if you're a right-handed pitcher, you use the left hand, and then you maybe use the right hand just to help with a little bit of grip strength.
But imagine you're one of those guys that's been around for a long time, right? And you're like, this is my off day. I can't use my arm at all, but I really got to come. Wife is out of town. I would assume someone like CC Sabathia, right? Been around forever. Of course, the Yankees are paying him.
Yeah,
a lot of fucking money.
He's retired now.
Well, now he is. But I'm saying, like, toward the end of his career, just someone that had been around for a long time, he was probably able to finagle the bagel and get like...
Oh, he had a big contract. And
and that may be like
So what are you getting at?
Maybe like a hand jibber woman.
I was to say, do you want to just see CC Sabathia come? Like, I guess
I'm just thinking like he had to have like a hand job made and...
Probably.
Like in his contract. Like that was like...
Hey guys, you want this left hand to go to work, and I got to tell you, I'm a left-hand masturbator. So can we maybe figure something out?
Right. So he had to have just like day of pitching and like day before. Like he has to have somebody that just kind of tosses him off real quick.
Yeah, clear his head. Clear his head for a big start.
Yeah, because here's the thing is, I'm not supposed to use this left arm before I start. However, and I need a big start. However,
I got to clear my head.
I need to clear my head. I can't walk in there with a loaded gun because I can't relax enough to do my job.
True.
So yeah, I'm just saying, like the pitcher's got to come.
The pitcher's got to come.
The pitcher's got to come.
Yeah. Who's gonna do it?
Who's gonna do it?
We're gonna have like a Brett Favre situation where they like don't really let the medical staff know that he's gonna take his penis out.
Didn't Peyton Manning do the same thing?
No.
I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning got in trouble for something very similar.
Google
it. Come on. Google Peyton Manning.
I just feel like that's the most asinine thing I've ever heard.
I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning got in trouble like years ago, and it wasn't a big story. but he did something very similar where he exposed himself to somebody.
Let's see. What would it be under? Peyton Manning, like sex?
Peyton Manning, sexual assault. Peyton Manning exposes himself. It was I think he did to like a trainer or something.
Let's see. An allegation by former University of Tennessee trainer who accused NFL star Peyton Manning of pressing his buttocks and genitals against her face.
Yep.
While she examined his ankle was cataloged in 1996.
Yeah. Now, in his defense, how old was Peyton Manning in 96?
Oh, God. He was
probably to be in his 20s.
Okay. I think, 18, 19 years old. I mean, who wasn't shoving, buttocks and genitals in people's faces when they were 18?
At that age, you misread a signal so easily.
Oh, my God. I mean,
this is a medical exam. This is strictly business, nothing sexual. And she's just like probably on her knee, like touching his ankle. Does that hurt? Does that hurt? And this is a woman that is like
just imagining
in sucking distance of his penis.
Just imagining like him, flaccid penis, and for some reason his pants are. I don't know why his pants are off. He's probably just like wearing a jock strap. But I'm just imagining
he was probably just wearing shorts. Honestly,
he's just like thrusting at her face as she's examining his ankle. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's just like, "Oh, I'm just trying to keep my head straight."
No, he's doing the creepy guy thing where like he just moves a little bit closer, and a little bit closer, and a little bit closer. And in his mind, he's like, "Yeah, like you're fucking hot shit. You suck your fucking cock." And you just he moves a little closer and it gets to a point where like his penis is like right here, and she just kind of and then backs away a little bit because she's nervous because Peyton Manning is not a little dude.
No,
he's a big towering football playing man, and he's just right here. Next thing you know, like the head of Peyton's man thing is on her lip, and then she just kind of like moves away.
Pulls away. She goes, "I just need to put ice on this ankle, and you'll be fine tomorrow. All right, gotta go. Bye."
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm sure. I imagine that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But you're 19 and horny. It's.
When I read about. I'm just waiting for Tom Brady's thing to come out. Like
there's definitely
there has to be something.
There's got to be a few.
Some like dirty Southie broad where Tom had to slip once at least, like in 2003 when he was like at the peak of his stardom. Everyone's just like fucking Tommy ball game winning games left and right for the Pats. Like
pre-Giselle days.
Pre-Giselle when Tom was just fucking firing nuts off in Southie Boston. Like he's just coming down to the harbor and just fucking. Just
cleaning up,
just crushing.
Oh my God! I just like to imagine though, like some just dirty Southie broad.
I'm just thinking of like Blake Lively,
hey, Tom.
From the town, like just like you know what I miss, Tommy. Tommy, you don't miss me, Tommy.
You don't miss me, Tommy.
just
murdering,
dude, murdering gum. Like that gum didn't stand a chance. Hey, Tommy.
Well, you think you're better than me, Tommy?
What you drinking? Juice? Yeah, I don't drink alcohol. That's cute. What you doing down here, Tommy?
Yeah. And then she like throws a napkin at the bartender because she's known him since she was like 9 years old. Hey, Wretch. Couple Bud Lights.
I just told you I don't drink. You drink, Tommy.
Tonight you're drinking, Tommy.
Yeah.
It's the off season. Come on, Tommy.
Yeah. He wakes up the next morning. He's just like, what did I do? And that's when the TB12 regimen was born.
Yep.
That day.
By the way,
if not for
she starts critiquing his performance in games.
If not for loose women in Southie Boston, we might not have the TB12 regimen.
We might not. Imagine though, like
25-year-old Tom Brady comes up with a TB12 regimen after sleeping with a dirty Southie broad. My God. And then he's just like, never again. Kale salads and vinegar, and that's it.
Yeah, Tommy, you read me at that bar. Yeah, you read me like the fucking Dolphins defense in 04. Yeah, Tommy.
They run in zone. They were running zone, weren't they? No man-to-man defense for Tommy.
No.
I just imagine. I'm trying to think of
throw a touchdown, Tommy. Yeah, throw a fucking touchdown, Tommy. Yeah, harder.
Win the fucking ball game, Tommy. Win the fucking ball game.
Yeah, you got ice water running through that cock. It's so hard, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done imagining Tom Brady having sex
Fucking some.
with a loose woman from Southie Boston. Again, that's how the TB12 regimen was born. He took one look in the mirror and he's just like, I gotta get my fucking life together. And it's just like nothing but kale salads for the rest of my life. And guess what? Peak performance, peak nutrition, marry supermodel. It's just that easy.
Just gonna go home angry and eat a fistful of almonds. Then gag myself.
Yeah. He's just popping almonds in his mouth. I love my life. I love my life.
I love this.
Love this so much.
I have an endorsement deal with Uggs.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So just imagine like grizzled Tom Brady, 26, just crushing before he meets Giselle because he's like becoming a superstar at 26, and then like that year, then they win that third Super Bowl. They're like, all right, Tom Brady's a goddamn superstar. And then he starts going to events with Bill Belichick. They start going to like the Robert Kraft Gala.
Yeah.
You know, the Kraft Foods Gala where instead of serving actual like charcuterie boards, it's just single slices of Kraft American cheese.
Did Robert Kraft ever offer to take Tommy to the Jupiter Day Spa?
Oh, definitely. Oh, Tom's been there.
I just never caught it on tape.
There's been some signings that you wouldn't think, like, how do you think they got Randy Moss there in 07? Like, Randy Moss was a problem child. Bill Belichick usually doesn't touch those guys with a 10-foot pole. Robert's like, Randy, come on my jet. We're going to Florida. And he's just like, why are we going to Florida, Mr. Kraft? And he goes, I own a spa there. We're going to relax. We're going to have a nice time. Little does he know, they're going to pull up to a strip mall with a neon sign. With a neon sign that just... And all it says on the outside is nails Manny Petty, and he's just like,
they pull up in a Rolls Royce to some rundown strip mall in Florida. The sign says body work, whatever that means.
And Randy Moss is like, I mean, I have been kind of stiff, and he's just like, you're going to enjoy the Patriots, Randy. Tom Brady, one of the best quarterbacks in the game. You guys are going to break records together. Randy's like, all right.
Okay. That sounds good.
Mr. Kraft, that sounds good.
Randy Moss sounds like Hank Hill.
Yeah, he's cool because he's from West Virginia. So it's just So I can't understand West Virginia accents still. So they're kind of Virginia, but they're also kind of northeasty a little bit too.
It depends on what part of West Virginia.
He's like middle of West Virginia.
Yeah, so it's a weird accent, but yeah,
I can't wrap my head around it.
You honestly you kind of sound like you're from the plains of Texas,
a little bit,
in a weird way.
Yeah, a little twangy, but it's still
slightly.
It's Eastern. Yeah, it's weird. Mm-hmm. It's like this maturation of deep Southern with Northeast, like New York, even. Like,
yeah, it's weird. I actually went to an interesting bar in West Virginia.
Oh, so you have family in West Virginia, right?
I have family in West Virginia. I don't know if I shared this story on the podcast.
Never stopped in West Virginia before. Only passed by a couple of times.
A couple years ago, we had a family reunion in West Virginia.
Yeah, you told me this story. Yep. Well, you've told me the story, but you haven't shared it with
I'll
the
say
boys.
This. Highlight of the podcast. Highlight of the night.
It's a highlight of the podcast as well. It's going to be.
Sure. Okay. May not highlight the night, but highlight of the trip was we decided, me and a bunch of my cousins that are about my age, decided that we were going to go to this bar in West Virginia. And it was kind of clubbish. They had like a disco floor that was all lit up.
Is it called like the Rusty Wagon or something?
It might have been called the Rusty Wagon, but they had an upstairs.
It's called like the Rusty Wheel.
And I just remember like they had this floor that was lit up. They had this one dude that was the MC. He just had a microphone and he was hyping up the crowd. There weren't a lot of us. Anyway, my one cousin was sitting down the entire night. She was about 7 months pregnant at the time. And she decided to like go to this club in West Virginia. And she got hit on by a smooth 8 to 9 different dudes. Like the whole night. Just the weirdest. Okay. Only in West Virginia does a woman that pregnant at a bar get hit on. Just.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even a stereotype.
No, just only in West Virginia.
I think that's just true.
Mm-hmm. And she got hit on like an uncomfortable amount of times. And it wasn't like you couldn't. She was visibly
I
pregnant.
would say 7 months pregnant. You are very pregnant.
Oh yeah,
time.
she's pretty pregnant. Like she was
like basketball pregnant.
She was end of the second, early third trimester pregnant, clearly showing.
And we just have a bunch of guys that have a baby fetish. Like
I don't know if it's a baby fetish or it's just West Virginia. Maybe it's something in the water makes you crave.
Could be those country roads,
swollen ankles, and I don't know
because there's a lot of salt content.
You just love a swollen ankle. Yeah. I mean, she got swollen ankles in a gut, you know, just whatever.
Reminds me of my sister.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much the whole story. Is just my cousin got hit on a bunch of times.
This visibly pregnant woman.
My visibly pregnant cousin got hit on a bunch of times in a West Virginia bar.
That sounds awesome. I kind of want to go.
Yeah. Shouts out if you're listening.
Yeah. Shouts out, Rusty Wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of a rusty wagon, what a football game that was on last night.
Oh, my God.
The exact opposite of a rusty wagon. A goddamn sports car lubed up and ready to go.
A rusty butthole.
We had a rusty butthole.
Fun to watch game.
Rough terrain. Yeah.
I'll say it's probably the two most exciting teams to watch right now in the NFL.
Well, that's a little bit of a stretch.
Okay.
I think
the more exciting teams.
I think we have a budding rivalry.
Yeah.
Between the two best black quarterbacks in the NFL, Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson.
Well, same division.
Same ethnicity, and
same diaspora. Yeah.
So the point I make about Baker Mayfield is that he is not skin tone black. He is swagger and inner. Like
it's how he plays the game.
The inside of his body would state like he does. The thing is though is that like his arm talent and everything, like where he's from, just kind of screams privileged white guy.
Yeah,
which it kind of makes sense because he's kind of got quarterback face. Do you know that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean by quarterback face. Like these at a young age, these kids are essentially picked to be like primed to be like the quarterbacks of like their town's football team for like from age like 9 to the pros.
Right.
So they get coddled and they don't
the guy.
They don't get hit.
Yep.
So they never get deformed in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So they get these pristine looking faces, hence quarterback face.
Yes.
So they're always like the best looking guys on the team.
Yep.
Because they're ready for prime time, because they've been tailor-made since age 9, essentially.
Exactly.
So he kind of has that aspect to it.
Yep.
But the biggest thing with Baker Mayfield against Lamar Jackson last night really wasn't the play of each of them. It was really their teams together. But really what it boiled down to was them. Because those two they both went off.
Oh yeah,
Mayfield threw for 350.
Yep,
ran in a touchdown.
He did.
He looked like he was running for the buffet, like as it just opened. He's just like, I'm hungry, and he's just running to the end zone. Like he looked a little like top heavy when he was running into the end zone. He's not. He's still white. He's not crazy athletic. Like, I mean, he's athletic enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the NFL, but he's not elite NFL athlete.
Yeah, he's running like people are chasing him.
Exactly.
And he did a good job of it, but it was 40s. The game ended up being 47-42.
Yeah.
Now, best part of this, great football game, back and forth, everything you can imagine. Cleveland was down by 14 going into the fourth quarter. Rip-roaring comeback led by Mayfield. I mean, this ain't my childhood's Cleveland Browns.
No, not at all.
Who were atrocious. From like so Cleveland, the whole story of Cleveland leaving to go to Baltimore in the mid-90s, right?
Yeah.
So then
becoming the Ravens.
Became the Ravens.
Yep.
So because Baltimore's first incarnation was the Baltimore Colts.
Yes.
Who left town.
And they went to Indianapolis.
Yeah, there's a really funny story, and it's told by a lot of native Baltimoreans or Baltimoreans. Natives of Baltimore.
Okay.
That one morning they kind of just I mean, they didn't really know, but there was a lot of back in the 70s, and there's a lot of like mutters and murmurs that like the Colts might just pack up and go to Indianapolis because they had a stadium deal. And then one morning they just woke up and like everything was gone from the stadium, and they just saw Mayflower trucks just driving down the road. Yeah. With like all of the shit.
You're like, oh, I guess we did lose the team.
It's just like, holy shit, they just packed up all these trucks, and like they just broke down the stadium too. Like,
yeah. Just took it all. They're like, well,
and they were like, well, I guess we don't have a football team anymore.
No, well,
so it was
Indianapolis Colts now.
Yeah, so Art Modell, who owned the Cleveland Browns, had this, he's the owner of Modell Sporting Goods, which is the big, it was kind of like the northeastern Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yes.
So he had this vision to get a team back to Baltimore. So Cleveland's city deal came up, and they jumped ship and went right to Baltimore, changed the team name, and basically everything. So
and the luck actually turned around for the team too.
Yeah, because Baltimore got really good.
Yes.
And Cleveland didn't have a football team until 3 years later. They expanded. And in 1999, the new Cleveland Browns were born. Same color scheme, same stadium. They were playing in everything was the same except for the talent, because they were atrocious. The first year, the second year after their the third year after the expansion, they made the playoffs. Really had no right, but they did.
Well, Tim Couch.
Yeah, Tim Couch. Kelly Holcomb.
And Kelly Holcomb. But we talked about this on the previous podcast.
Who could forget about the great Kelly Holcomb? I did, until we brought it up last week.
Yeah.
But there's a great history between these two teams, because it was basically felt as if Baltimore stole the Browns.
Right.
So now there's this rivalry has never really been a thing, because Cleveland's been so bad and Baltimore's been so good.
Right. That it's never been competitive.
Yeah, it's always just been like Baltimore's going to come in and kick the shit out of Cleveland now.
Right.
And the Steelers and the Ravens have created this rivalry over the years, because they've been the two best teams in their division and two of the best teams in their conference.
Right.
So it's always been this like natural rivalry, because good teams playing good teams usually makes, for
good games.
Yeah, makes them for competitiveness.
Yeah.
Now the Browns are just being like, excuse me, Anna. Like,
what do you think about? I mean, after their loss last night, the Browns are now 9-4.
Yeah, but that wasn't a loss.
I mean, that game honestly could have went either way.
They didn't lose; they just didn't win.
Yes,
that's a good way to put it. They scored 42 points and lost.
Yes,
that's not losing. That's just not winning.
No, that game honestly could have went either way. If they played each other again, the game could go either way.
Well, the thing is, though, is that they played each other week 1 of the season, and Baltimore won 38-3.
Yeah.
So it's like from the September to now, Cleveland leaps and bounds better.
Absolutely. And they had to get it together.
They did. And honestly, it became with the maturation of Baker Mayfield. Now, mind you, there's a couple of things that I like and dislike about Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
First of all, arm strength is phenomenal. He's making good decisions, and he's also being concise with everything. He's not trying to force too much. Like, he's just making the good plays, and he's making good throws.
Yeah.
The things that I dislike, he's way too mature. It's really pissing me off. I miss the angry Baker Mayfield who would just celebrate and just stick a fictitious flag in the middle of your stadium, just be like, I claim this as my own. I miss his angry press conferences. I miss when he looked like a third member of the Wet Bandits. Like, I miss that Baker Mayfield. I miss distressed, angry, youthful Baker Mayfield.
Okay. You wanted another Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I did. I really did. And guess what? I don't think we're going to get it. I really think we're... No. No, do I think he's a superstar? No. Do I think he's turning the corner? Oh, yeah. And he's turning that fourth turn in the super speedway hard and fast, baby. Well, I think, he's ready.
And like we said before, I think the incident of him getting his dick sucked in the Cheesecake Factory parking lot,
turning point of his career.
I think that was a come to Jesus moment.
It literally,
where he realized, okay, I just
imagine he's eating a piece of Oreo cheesecake as he's getting the blowjob.
He just got...
Yeah.
leans back in
because
the seat of his
Baker
Range
Mayfield's not really
Rover
like
really hot.
he's not that he's more fit than he was, but he's got a little.
It's a little pooch.
Like he looks like
There's enough of a pooch. Okay,
he
has
looks
a body
like an
of a guy.
everyman. He looks like a. Yeah, that's why I like him so much.
He's in shape, but he enjoys his slice of Oreo cheesecake
while
every
getting
now and
topped
then.
off in a Cleveland Ohio cheesecake factory parking lot.
Yes, and I
In a
just like
white
to
Range
imagine
Rover
him
with tinted
like
windows.
laying back, enjoying his cheesecake, enjoying the dick sucking.
But the thing is, though, is that the dick sucking is secondary to the cheesecake, and his oohs and ahs are not from the performance of the woman; it's from the cheesecake he's enjoying.
Oh, this cheesecake! Oh, wash the teeth, baby. Oh, this cheesecake! God
Yeah,
damn.
he's just sitting back. Oh, that's good. And she's like, "You like that?" He goes, "Oh yeah."
Oh, you're still here?
But he's just chewing. He's like, just like getting the crumbs out of his teeth. And then she gets up and she gets up for air for a second. He goes, "I'll offer you a bite. This is too good though."
What if he's a real gentleman? He says, "I got you a slice. It ran out of Oreo, though. We all know it's the best. I got a strawberry for you."
That's what he's paying her
Or
in.
he doesn't
He's
even-
paying her in.
Or he doesn't even offer a cheesecake. He's just like, "I got extra napkins."
His currency is Cheesecake Factory cheesecake. Like that's what he's paying these girls in. Hey Baker, why do we always have to meet at the Cheesecake Factory? It's tiramisu night.
I just like to imagine, like,
I imagine he's a points member at Cheesecake Factory, and for every fifth slice of cheesecake, he gets a free one.
he's part of the Cheesecake Club or whatever it's called.
He's the Cheesecake King, is what he is. He's the Cheesecake King of Cleveland. Listen, Kevin James will be the King of Queens. Baker Mayfield's the Cheesecake King of Cleveland.
The Cheesecake King of Cleveland. Oh, man.
Listen, you ever eaten a piece of cheesecake? You ever eaten a piece of Cheesecake Factory cheesecake and not smiled? It's hard.
Not at all.
Even
it's impossible.
even in my angriest.
Physically impossible.
During the peak of the pandemic, one night my girlfriend and I, we ordered out. We ordered out a lot during the pandemic because we wanted to support, you want to support local businesses and you wanted to kind of do all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And it just became like a laziness factor. It's just like, dude, we can't do anything. Like we can cook at home a little bit, which we did. But then like the nights we were just like, I don't want to move. Like, what do I have to do?
Yeah, yeah.
The world, the earth is literally trying to kill us right now. Like, what do we do? So I remember distinctly, we got Chinese takeout one night.
Okay.
And then after we got done with the Chinese meal, we both kind of looked at each other and she's like, I really want dessert. And this happens on a regular basis, but this night in particular, the wave took over, and she looked at me. She goes, "I've been craving Cheesecake Factory for like 3 weeks," and I didn't want to say anything. So we get the Cheesecake Factory delivered, which I never gotten before. And as I'm opening and eating the cheesecake, I'm like thinking to myself, like what it would be like to eat this in the restaurant. And then this is right after the Baker Mayfield thing happened, because it was last season, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just like, if I was getting head in a Cheesecake Factory burger, it came over me as I was eating the cheesecake, and I was just like, this is really good. I don't think I would be able to focus on the blowjob because I'm just so overtaken by flavor and sensations.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I've never been a big blowjob guy personally.
Really?
Yeah, I've just never really.
I enjoy them as like I know what it's leading to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about just like hopping on the bicycle. Like,
Yeah,
you don't necessarily have to like
I don't know. I've just never
You're not
been.
gonna put air in the tires. I mean,
I've just never been a big fan of blowjobs.
you're just a businessman.
I just do it.
Yeah. It's like let's get to
never been a big-
Let's get to the important part.
Exactly. Let's skip the
Let's skip the pageantry and let's get right to the main course.
So maybe I would enjoy the cheesecake more than the blowy.
Because you're just like, I am too satisfied by this cheesecake to be satisfied by anything else.
Honestly, I'd rather have a good hand jibber than a blowy.
Wow, that's a little weird, man. I didn't know this about you.
I'd rather. Well, now you're learning. You're learning, and so are our friends listening to this podcast.
That's true.
I'd rather have a good hand jibber than a blowy.
Why?
I don't know. I just like it better.
What happened to you to not enjoy a blowjob?
I don't enjoy. I just rather have. It's a preference, you know.
That's a weird preference.
I'd rather
though.
have a good hand jibber than a blowy.
You rather have a like light to medium dry hand job than a well lubricated blow job.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd rather have a good hand jibber.
How many hand jobs do you get like in a week?
In a week?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm married, so you know, enough.
Do you? Is this a you preference? Is this the wife's preference? Like, do you?
It's me. My preference, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, you know, are you writing this down?
What? Is it a dry? It's not a dry one, right? There's moisturizer involved.
Yeah, I mean, you know, spit, you know. You know.
Just like the movies. Yeah. Oh. just.
Yeah. So you prefer a mouth to a hand?
I do. Yeah.
Really?
I think most men do.
Okay, maybe I'm weird.
No,
I don't know.
You are.
I guess so.
I can't think of any guy that's like, oh yeah, I'll take the hand. That sounds great. Like,
yeah, it's a good hand jibber, man.
I don't think I've ever had a legitimately good hand job besides my own.
Okay.
I think. Listen, I only know myself. I know
just-
myself really well.
It's a good old fashioned, you know.
Oh, the old fashioned.
Yeah.
Is there any butt play? Is there any like?
On me?
Yeah,
Not since the '80s, but yeah, you know.
you weren't even around,
Exactly.
so never.
Nah, you explore the canyon?
Not really. No, I mean I have.
Maybe 2021 might be the year that we need to
Eat some
explore our
scrum,
third eyes.
yeah.
No, I've already eaten it. Anyway,
Everyone's licked a butt from time to time.
Exactly.
I mean,
Maybe it's time for us to explore our male G spots.
so we're talking like full prostate exams.
Yeah, well, just ask your lady to, you know.
Milk me.
Yeah, milk you.
One day, I'm just gonna end up like writing a note and just sticking it to the door and just be like, "I'm upstairs," and it's just gonna be like ... bent over.
Yeah,
And
like
I'm just gonna be like all fours on the bed.
That's what I was thinking. I'm gonna.
But she's gonna be looking into like this palatial canyon of hair, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be a tropical rainforest, and it's gonna be difficult for her to just get to the.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna get it detailed first. You know, I gotta get a wax, a spit shine. You know,
I need more than a wax. I need a weed whacker.
Yeah, you gotta get a wax. You gotta get a nice polish on there, a nice finish. Get a new coat of varnish. Yeah.
I'm gonna show up to the spa, and they'll be like, "What do you want?" I'll be like, "I'll take one of those backyard old fashions."
I'm gonna show up to the spot. I'm gonna say, "I'm a solid block of marble. Sculpt me.
Or you could. I would like.
Create your David."
I'm a single block of marble. Chisel me. I think I almost want to open up the door to my relationship with the spa worker, and I'm just gonna walk in, and they're like, "What do you want today?" I'm like, "Well, my wife's gonna eat my ass, so." So what do? Do I go down Main Street? Like, I'm not sure how this works. Or do I get like one of those Woody Woodpeckers, the little hair on top? Like it looks like a rooster. Like I guess I don't know. I'm kind of a novice at this, and this girl's like, "I'm gonna take you on a ride." I'm like, little does she know I've never had my ass waxed, and it's gonna be incredibly painful.
Well, if you're asking those questions, I'm sure she knew that you're like your
What
first.
does a butthole waxing feel like? I just need to know.
I have no idea. I feel like
Kinda
she's gonna rip the paper off, and you just see white. Like
I can't tell if I'm seeing a ghost or if this is just my life now.
yeah, just a flash in front of your eyes. It's all just white for a second, but
I see a silhouette of Patrick Swayze, and
But
I'm just like,
I just want a good.
oh, okay.
I just want a good butthole wax technician, and they're gonna lead me through, almost like a shaman leads you through like an ayahuasca trip, or like one of those people that like walks you up Mount Everest when you're rich and white. Like they don't die on the mountain, but you do, and they make the trip like all the way up.
It's your journey now.
They make the trip all the way up and back while like carrying your shit.
Yeah.
No problems. Meanwhile, you're dead on the mountain somewhere, and they're like, Mr. Skopinski, he didn't make it.
What happened to Mr. Skopinski and his wife? Oh, well, they
They did.
well, they They had a tough time getting down the mountain.
I had to bring their shit back, so I couldn't carry them.
Why is he
I
Mexican?
don't know. I just
What's like an Inuit sound like? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, they tried to climb and they did not
He
climb.
zig, he should have zagged.
Yeah.
He died.
He was pizza and he's supposed to French fry and he fell. He died.
It's
He's dead
rough.
now.
It's
Yeah.
rough, you know?
We tell no one about this. You right, boss.
You're right. You're right.
Yes.
I've heard, though, that, like, Mount Everest is almost like a giant mountain of trash at this point.
Yeah, because so many people try to climb it.
Yeah, and all the shit that they leave. Like, all the fucking food they leave up there, their little shit
Just
that
looks
they
like
live up there.
It looks like a bordered wasteland.
Yeah, the bodies that are just left up there, they can't get them.
Yeah. There's a lot of dead bodies.
I've heard there are a lot of dead bodies on
Yeah.
Mount Everest. They just can't get them, so they're just
Wish
up
somebody
there.
would make a documentary about that. Or have they?
There's probably a ton of documentaries about just corpses.
It's called like Dead Everest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but zombie apocalypse movie on Mount Everest. That'd be fun.
Yeah, well, they'd be stuck up there because unless they're like Resident Evil zombies.
Yeah, those are different. Those hit differently.
Especially, what was his name? Like Venom?
Oh, yeah. That thing,
Yeah,
fuck that thing.
Yeah, he's getting down
fuck that
in
thing.
3 leaps.
He's
He's off the mountain.
I had a hard time with that. Was that Resident Evil 2?
3, I think. Yeah. Or playing that at night, you were like 9 years old or some shit.
Yeah, scared the fuck
That
out
shit
of me.
was scary as fuck.
I like the newest one. When 4 came out for the GameCube.
Yeah.
And it just like revolutionized first-person shooters. I was like, I am into this. It was great.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Any hoodles. So back to Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. So they put on a show, but we need to talk about Lamar, his exit strategy.
Yes.
Now, Lamar Jackson.
Speaking of buttholes.
Speaking of butthole waxing, Lamar. So what has been reported a lot and allegedly was Lamar Jackson was suffering from cramps.
Yes.
Now, usually
I believe they said it was a cramp in his calf.
Yes, professional football players get cramps in their legs because they use them a lot, especially Lamar Jackson, who is pretty much a run-first quarterback. And, an incredible athlete. And it wasn't warm out. Usually you equate cramping to warmth because, the muscles kind of overstimulate.
Yeah.
Cold nights, it can happen too. You kind of just get locked up.
Yeah.
So Lamar took off, three series? 2 series.
Yep.
To get fluids. I'll throw that in quotes. He got fluids in the back. Now, usually an NFL player gets cramps. They got IVs already set up in the back. Give them an IV, loosen them up. 10 minutes, you're back and ready to go. Get a nice massage. Now, there was, mind you, great work by ESPN. Hats off to you. The angles that they had, the in locker room angle they had of Lamar Jackson going into the locker room was not of a man limping or struggling on his legs.
No.
But a man that was shuffling as if he had to take the biggest shit of his life.
Yes. I call it a scamper.
It's a shuffle.
Okay.
It's it's one of those situations where you have to clench the cheeks together and you have to keep your feet low. You have to keep your feet on the ground. So you shuffle because if you lift your feet, you're somehow going to spread your cheeks and shit's going to fly right out.
Yes.
Now, mind you, as somebody that is an expert in this field, I have had easily 100 plus shits like this year. And honestly, there's days where I can't get the keys into the lock of my door quick enough. Because I feel the poop, and it's just a mixture of just like clenching and praying and crying, and you're just like, I'm gonna lose everything out of my ass if I don't get inside.
I like these underwear.
I love these pants. So Lamar Jackson was scurrying, and the best part, if you look at the ESPN footage, he almost accidentally runs into, I think, a security guard as he's running into the door.
And he even has the hand motion of get the fuck out of the way.
He does a swim move, which is a Lamar Jackson special, to get away from a defender. But in this case, instead of running to the end zone, he's trying to run to the toilet. So he's just swim move like, I'm going to shit. Like that swim move basically said, I'm going to shit myself now. Like,
yes.
Like poop is out. Is out.
There's doo-doo in the world here.
I'm crowning.
I'm bringing life into this world, bro.
So my dude, he was definitely shitting. And
He had to poop.
It's not even it started with like a couple of like tweets like, yo, Lamar's leg don't look that bad. What's going on? And everyone's just like, he's taking his shit. He's doo-dooing. He's doo-dooing.
I got doo-doo, baby.
Yeah. So many memes. It was the biggest trend on Twitter during the game last night. And I'm like, this is amazing. So I even tweeted at it because Lamar Jackson made a tweet today that said, I think it's something along the lines like, you guys thought I was shitting with the poop emoji.
Yeah.
He goes, y'all be tripping. Mm-hmm. And then I just retweeted and I was like, Lamar, been there. I understand what you're going through. Like I was like, I've seen this shuffle before many a times. That's
him too.
That's a shit shuffle.
I tweeted at him too. I was like, it's okay, shit happens.
Yeah.
Just
he's got diarrhea, man. It happens.
It happens.
Now I have a theory that
I
think Lamar had because usually if you have now these are professional athletes. Most of them have pretty stellar gastrointestinal health.
Yes.
You know, they've regimented eating. They have, you know, really good hydration.
Yep.
Basically, they're on schedule. Everything is pretty much on schedule. Very rarely are they pooping in the middle of a game.
Right.
I think that Lamar and maybe the offensive linemen, because, you know, those are the ones that really, you know, butter Lamar's bread. Like, they don't create – without those holes, Lamar doesn't have, you know, the days that he does.
Exactly.
Mind you, holes are created and he – you know, outruns everybody else in the field. But without those offensive linemen, I just imagine Lamar likes to treat the offensive linemen to like a nice meal. Like before
game.
Now, mind you, they're playing on Monday Night Football. So they're in Cleveland a couple of days early.
Yeah. So they'll get to Cleveland probably Saturday.
So I think like Sunday evening, they watched some film in the afternoon and, you know, maybe they caught some of the other, you know, games that were on during Sunday. And Lamar's like, you know, it's a pandemic. You know, I really want to give back to the community. You know what? You can't really go out to restaurants. Why don't we order in at the team hotel?
Okay.
It's like,
well, I'm thinking this is Monday.
Could be Monday afternoon.
Early afternoon.
Afternoon.
Let's get lunch.
You know what, guys? Lunch on me. We don't play till 8 tonight.
Yeah.
You know, Lamar's, you know, treating up, you know, big beefy boys out there.
Yeah.
You know, the
so we'll say
linemen.
This is like 3 p.m. This is about 5 hours.
No, it's too late.
Pre.
I don't think they're eating like when I'm going to.
Well, you're about to lay down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think like noon, like 12:30. Maybe they just did a walkthrough at the stadium. And they're like, all right, you know, I'm hungry. So Lamar's like, hey, I've been hearing about this sandwich. It's apparently it's this thing. It's like it's either a hot dog or a sandwich. Could be both. It's called a Polish boy, and it's a kielbasa sausage. And
Cleveland's known for it.
Cleveland's known for it.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna go to this place called Hot Sauce Williams, and they serve themselves a hell of a Polish boy. And the offensive linemen, of course, are game. They're like, yeah, we could eat. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Now, for the uninitiated boys, a Polish boy sandwich is a kielbasa grilled. Some places fry them after they grill them. Then there is hot sauce or barbecue sauce. Some places do both because they get nasty.
Yeah.
French fries and coleslaw.
A sloppy Polish boy.
A sloppy Polish boy.
Yeah.
On this sandwich. Now, I don't know about you boys. That could be a shitstorm for me.
Oh, anything that hits the fryer. I mean, it's basically just like, you want diarrhea right now or like in 2 hours? Like,
yeah.
My stomach basically makes a key decision. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as grease is introduced into my intestinal tract, basically 2 things happen. One, immediate diarrhea, or like 2 hours later at the most inopportune time, diarrhea. Like we're like midway we're like in the middle of a long car trip, and we're like 37 miles away from the next rest stop. Now, 37 miles might seem like a very on the nose, precise number because I've had this situation happening before.
Jesus.
I had a situation where I ate a McDonald's cheeseburger because I was just craving something, and I just ate it way too fast. And my problem with my system is that if I eat too fast, shit happens faster. Less real estate in my insides. So I eat this McDonald's cheeseburger. Within 10 minutes of this car ride, I am just gurgling, and I'm like, I have to shit now. And I see the first sign coming up ahead, and I see the blue sign. It says rest up 37 miles, and I'm like, I'm going to shit on the side of the road today. That's going to happen. Like that's playing in my head. You know, my girlfriend's passed out asleep, and I don't want to wake her. So I'm just like, I am like just cringing, and I am just like 37 miles.
White knuckling the
steering wheel, like Thelma and Louise. Like
you're doing the anime sweat.
Oh boy, I'm sweating. Just it is terrible. So there's times where I'm going 90, like I have to go. And I am driving like I have drugs in the car, and I am like just trying to get to the border, and I need to go. And there's times where I think about pulling over, and then I get back on the highway. I think about pulling over, and then I get back on the highway. And then there's one time that I fully pulled over, and I thought about it, and I'm just like, not today. I got back on the highway. Like, she didn't even wake up. So I somehow miraculously make it to this rest stop. And just, I can't even tell you the shit. I lost like easily 6 pounds. Like, I must have. Oh
my God.
Because I got done, and she woke up after I closed the door and I got back in the car. She's like, oh, we're on the rest stop? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I passed out for a little while there. I'm like, yeah.
She's a heavy sleeper.
She's like, what happened? And I was like, nothing, just had to go to the bathroom. She's like, okay.
Has no idea what you went through.
Little does she know.
The last 37 miles.
Literally, the movie Speed is playing out in my body. And I'm just thinking every time I'm like bringing it down to 65, it's like pop quiz hot shot. Like we're going to see what happens. Dennis Hopper is like looking at me through like through fucking CTV or CCTV screen. And he's just like got the finger on the trigger, and he's just like, I'm going to blow up that fucking bus known as your insides.
You're just sweating.
You're just, yeah. I'm midway through the movie, sweating. Keanu Reeves is about to lose another life underneath the bus.
That scene where he's on his back, he's screaming, just shooting.
He finally discovered that he's calling you Wildcat because you're wearing an Arizona Wildcat sweatshirt. You can tell I've seen this movie a couple of times.
Yes.
Wildcat, good football team.
Oh man.
Oh god. Yeah, anime sweats, everything.
I can see you just.
It's dramatic.
Yeah, it sounds rough.
It's a Dragon Ball Z fight scene. Like, there's, it's 3 episodes worth of fighting.
But I just see like just the whole sequence. It just, you see the sign, and then it just 37 miles.
That's exactly what I felt.
Yeah.
And then it flashes to me, and it's just worried, like, exactly that. Yeah, it was bad, but I made it at the end of the day because I'm a winner.
Exactly, you're a winner. Well, speaking of,
I'm not gonna shit on the side of the road like a fucking like a wolf or whatever shits on the side of the road.
Speaking of winners, we have to talk about a recent decision made by Pornhub.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, how could I forget about that?
Yeah. So, Pornhub recently decided that they were going to purge their website of all of the unverified content.
Now, what does that mean for the porn industry?
Yes, well, media in general. For the uninitiated boys, what that means is Pornhub has accounts, and originally it was basically the YouTube of porn, where it's a tube site. So anybody can make an account and upload anything, really. Yeah. What Pornhub did was they recently...
Thank you, I was going to say. Sorry about the hum, boys.
Yeah, so Pornhub has something called verified accounts, where basically you submit a picture of yourself.
Your blue check mark. Yep.
Yes, you submit a picture of yourself so they know that, okay, you are the person that's in the videos that are being uploaded. And once you verify your account, you can actually monetize your account. So you can actually make money off of the content that you're uploading. What Pornhub did was basically, if you're an unverified account, they deleted all of your videos off their website.
So much.
Yes, that's a lot of porn.
To be the person that has to purge Pornhub.
Yeah. And they did it quickly too.
Because you sent me the article, and then the text after it was, it's all gone. That's all you sent me. I'm like, what?
I think I said, like, scroll through the hub right now, nothing but blue check marks.
Yeah, it's true. And I did a little bit of research and nothing there. And then the first thing I think I texted you back was like, wait a minute, does that mean I can't get any more grainy POV videos?
Yes, they're gone.
They're gone.
And the thing, it was more than half of their which tells me that's probably just a filter they had, between verified and unverified, and they just gone. But yeah, and it was some of their most viewed videos of all time. Gone. Don't care. Is more than half of the content on their website is gone.
So does that mean, what about vintage content? Just
if it comes from an unverified user,
gone.
Man. Because they can't verify where it came from.
True.
So it's gone. But what does that mean for the porn industry as a whole? I think those free porn days, they're figuring out how they're gonna make money off of this again.
Well, because I think too, it became when it became the individual model. So like when a starlet or when a star in general just started making their own content.
Yeah.
So which then was taking the money out of the pockets of the websites, which was then taking the money out of the pockets of the porn producers. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, well, I mean, they're just making their content off themselves. How do we figure out a way to monetize our website so that we can profit off of the people that are making this content?
Right.
Which was just essentially to verify accounts.
Right.
Which is kind of like border checking, if you think about it.
It is.
Like, you can't cross in the United States unless you verify X, Y, and Z.
Now, I think the verified accounts are a good thing, though, because you can, through verified accounts, that's how you can ensure that, okay, there's nothing illegal going on your website that, I mean, you're kind of protected against because of Section 230, which I know the Republicans want to get rid of, and we can get rid of that.
Of course they do.
They do want to get rid of that, and we can get into that in a minute. But it does kind of protect you against, okay, you don't have anybody underage on your website because you verified this person, their identity, who they are, how old they are, so on and so forth. But what it means, though, is, because, boys, you got to remember, the porn industry always does it first. Mm-hmm. The porn industry is the reason why Blu-rays got popular instead of HD DVDs. There was a form factor war. Blu-ray won out because the porn industry preferred Blu-ray DVDs. Yeah. Blu-rays.
Blu-ray discs, yeah.
Yeah. DVDs got popular because of the porn industry. They adopted them because it was easy to record over a DVD. Mm-hmm. VHS tapes, porn again. The internet in general, porn. Because porn, back when the internet first got popular, it was the Wild West. Mm-hmm. Anybody could upload pretty much anything. Yeah. Porn took over. So seeing something like this, I can definitely see websites like YouTube, any of the other big user-generated content sites. You see a lot of shit on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I can definitely see certain types of content only being allowed if you're a verified user from now on. Mm-hmm. And I can see these websites, especially like Facebook, for example, making that shift. And that's, especially with all the issues that Facebook's had with just false information going on their website. Now, where I think Section 230 comes into play is, and I forget the exact verbiage, but essentially, right now, politicians particularly don't like Section 230. And basically, Section 230 states that the owner of a website is not to be treated like the publisher or the creator of content that was posted on a website by one of their users. Mm-hmm. So you're not a publisher, you're pretty much a host. Yeah. Someone puts it up there. Let's say, I don't know, some guy puts a video on YouTube of himself killing dogs, like he's killing puppies, right? If the government wanted to go after somebody for animal cruelty charges, they would go after the guy that actually killed the dogs, not YouTube. He just merely posted the video on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Whereas without Section 230, the government could go after YouTube because essentially aiding and abetting, they have the platform where he posted it. So I think part of this is kind of nervousness about, a lot of politicians potentially talking about getting rid of that section. And, without, so this may be a preemptive strike on Pornhub's behalf, but I do think we're going to see in a couple of years, like a big change in the internet.
Yeah.
Big change.
Yeah. You ever seen, or the whole Larry Flint thing, right? Like,
yeah. With the obscenity laws.
The obscenity. So I think, that's what began the whole porn, I guess, censorship thing.
Yeah.
So now this is just another form of censorship, but it's within. It's more of a legal thing. So they want to make sure that they don't have underage people uploading content. Really,
I don't know if you can. I don't think it's fair to call it censorship.
So
because this is also where Section 230 comes in. Is people always talk about how with Section 230 they believe that it's basically used for these big social media platforms to silence conservative voices.
Yeah.
The problem is that the First Amendment has to do with the government, not private companies.
Yeah.
So like Facebook, for example, is a huge platform, but they're not the government. So if I want to get on Facebook and say something that's just maybe, I don't know, hurtful toward transgender people, and Facebook decides that's pretty fucked up, we're going to delete that, or we're going to kind of shadow ban you, where like if someone decides to search your name, it's very hard to find you. That isn't censorship, because this is Facebook using their own platform and they have their own terms of service. And if you violate those terms of service, they have the right to revoke your access to their platform. You're not going to go to jail for some shit you said on Facebook because you said it on Facebook. They can just remove you from their platform. So, that's why I think it's weird when people say, oh, yeah, it violates my freedom of speech. It's kind of like if you go to a Costco and they ask you to wear a fucking mask.
Yeah.
And you say, I don't want to wear a mask. And they say, okay, well, you can't shop at Costco. They're not violating your freedom. Costco's a company, and they have the right to deny anybody service for any reason.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as the reason isn't illegal.
Yeah.
So,
did you ever watch the movie Middlemen?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, so it's kind of about it's not like the incarnation of internet porn. Luke Wilson's in it, and Giovanni Ribisi, who's from Boiler Room.
Yeah.
So the whole movie's basically this guy who I believe he's essentially a businessman, and he gets tied up with Giovanni Ribisi's character, and they start basically they find a way to profit off of porn on the internet.
Okay.
And he basically gets tied up with the business and how basically he's just kind of this clean cut businessman and finds out like the dirty edges of internet pornography and how to profit from it and things like that. It's actually a pretty good movie that sheds a little bit of light on kind of this topic.
Yeah.
I mean, is the best movie ever? No. However, it makes sense about this subject matter. Okay. So it's a decent movie to check out. I'd say. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the movie just because I just like. If you really want to get an idea of the laws around kind of, the censorship of porn, the People versus Larry Flint was a really good one.
Okay.
That's Woody Harrelson that would make sense for that. But
yeah,
I think this whole thing, I think, makes sense in the era that we're in now.
Oh yeah,
because you can monetize everything.
Yeah,
monetize it to profit.
Yes.
So the days of getting, I think the days of free pornography are still going to be there. They
will in one way or another.
But there's just going to be a way to find payouts.
Yeah.
To the talent.
Yeah.
What it boils down to, because people are, hopping in. I guess porn isn't really a last resort for people anymore. They're not.
Not at all.
They're not just like, oh, I'm going to do porn because I can't pay my rent.
No.
They're like, I'm going to do porn, and because that's going to help me become something.
Yeah. Well, you see how much money these girls are making on OnlyFans. If you have a successful OnlyFans page,
oh my God,
you're making fucking money.
Yeah. Like tens of $1,000s a week.
A day.
Yeah.
Like some of them. Like they're making fucking crazy money. So, yeah.
For real.
But and I almost equate it to social networks and the way they work. And it's but the reason why I say I think it's a similar model.
OnlyFans is a social network.
It is.
It is.
But only
it's an adult social network.
But I'm saying Pornhub in general, right? And I'm comparing it to kind of like the YouTube model or the Facebook model, where if you're not paying for it, then you're the product. They're advertising to you.
Well, yeah.
And that's where they're getting their money, is through advertising product to you. So they're gonna make their money. If you're a verified user and you've gotten to a point, you have enough subscribers that you're able to monetize your content on Pornhub, you're selling it. You have ads rolling before your videos. You're getting a piece of the ad revenue from the banner ads on the side of the web page. Like so they figured out a way.
Dick pills and penis pumps.
And I guess maybe it was Pornhub's way of trying to make things better for their creators, more attractive to invite them to their website.
Yeah.
Because you think about how much it was more than half of the content on the website
was not amateur, but it's just from
who knows where it came from?
Unverified content.
Yeah, it was from unverified sources. They have no idea where that came from.
Mostly people just ripping, movies.
Yeah.
And then uploading them.
Yeah, really. Ripping movies, ripping cam girl shows, ripping pretty much anything and just uploading it.
So now, does this become? Is this a problem? Not a problem, but is this a solution that was created by the content providers, or is this a solution that was made by the people of Pornhub? Like, is this like?
I think
is this the people that are the president of Pornhub, which is I like how that sounds.
Well, their parent company,
yeah,
which I think is MindGeek.
Who now MindGeek? Who do they own?
They own most of the major tube sites.
Do they own Brazzers too? No,
I don't think they own Brazzers.
Brazzers
but they
is
own most
own.
of the. Let me look this up.
Because I think Brazzers is its own identity. Its own not identity, own incorporation.
Yeah.
So
hold on. Let me look this up. MindGeek. Okay, it's a Canadian company.
Okay. I've also noticed too that most porn industries are based out of Canada.
They do own Brazzers. They own Brazzers, Mofos, Sean Cody, Digital Playground, Men.com, Twisties.
Shit, man.
Why Not Buy.com. They own a bunch of holy shit. I'm reading some of these.
They seem like they own a lot.
They own a lot of shit.
Familiar with a lot of those sites.
Yeah. But they also own RedTube, YouPorn, Pornhub, Digital Playground, Reality Kings.
Shit.
Yeah, they own a lot of shit. So
is this like a monopoly on the porn industry by these guys?
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be because they own a lot of shit.
I think it's just smart guys sitting around being like, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And we're doing all right. But
yeah.
How can we do better?
And shit, I mean, all the websites, they damn near have a monopoly on internet porn. They own all the major players, the pay sites and the tube sites. I mean, I don't know if I realized that they own Pornhub, YouPorn, and RedTube,
which are probably the three biggest tube site providers.
They're definitely top 10.
I mean, yeah. I mean, think about it. When you are typing in into your web browser, first thing you're thinking of, first thing I think of is Pornhub.
Yep.
Second one is YouPorn, usually for me.
My second is usually Xhamster.
That's actually a good one. A lot of long form content.
Yes.
On there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my two main are like Pornhub and Xhamster. Those are like my two. But even then, like of those four that are MindGeek properties, Pornhub, YouPorn, and RedTube, or three, those are pretty much the big tube sites.
Yeah, they're top 10. I mean, they're in the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, Pornhub's it's the first thing you think of.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's what? X videos.
Yeah.
Which even then, they're not that popular anymore.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I know way too many of those sites. And if I round them off, I don't want to have to, put myself into more therapy.
Okay.
It's just like, it gets to, yeah. Here was a fun game. I played this with a college friend of mine, where it got to the point where he said that he watched more porn movies than actual movies, and he could name more porn actresses than the actual actresses, which was true. One night, I remember this. We're in our dorm. This sticks out to me more than anything. He's 19, young, dumb, full of cum.
Chafed penis.
He's treating it with Vaseline. Like it's bad.
Of course.
We're having a conversation, and he basically says this to me. He goes, I might have a problem. I'm like, what?
Sounds like it.
He's like, I think I know more porn actresses than I do actual actresses. So I go, all right, start with actual actresses. Okay. I swear to God, he names 3. He goes, Angelina Jolie. And I was like, you jerked off to her? And he's just like, maybe. He goes, Angelina Jolie, Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know why he named her, because I think he was just thinking about Sex in the City.
He might have pumped off to an episode of Sex in the City just because sex was in the title.
Angelina Jolie, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Drew Barrymore. Those are the 3. Those are the 3.
Drew Barrymore was in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
I know.
And E.T.
That was the 3 actresses. He goes, I can't name any more. I'm like, you can't name any more? He's like, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now. I'm like, there's so many to choose from.
Jesus.
He's like, no, can't really think of it. I go, all right, name porn actresses. Fucking 30 seconds, he named like 100, I think.
Just rattles them off.
Just like bam,
bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. And you just knew him right after. And he was just like, Lisa Ann. Like, of course,
Sarah J.
Yeah, it was always all the classics.
Yeah.
Ava Devine. Yep, we knew that one.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Ava Adams. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just thinking who was popular at the time.
Oh, Ava Adams wasn't around in 09. I mean, she might have been around in 09, but...
09? I'm pretty sure she was.
No, I don't know. Ava Devine was around in 09.
Oh, yeah.
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 Anyway, we could sit here all
Sophie
night.
D.
Yeah,
okay.
So...
back when she was Welsh. All right.
Back when she had an accent. Or was that fake? Liar. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's I think
I'm curious about it.
Things in the internet are going to be interesting in the next couple of years.
I've always taken an interesting thought process with the porn industry, because I've always thought, like, how are they making money on this? Like, where is it coming from? I get the ads. You get money for the advertisers. Makes sense. That's like all paid ad models. I mean, that's most social media and most tube-based sites. How is he getting it? Like, what else are you doing?
Well, and then you got, the OnlyFans model, which is literally direct to consumer.
Yeah, and and it's a profit share.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, that's what I'm trying to. I'm curious what this is going to do, because I'm genuinely thinking about it.
I'm curious though of the ripple effects this is going to have through the entire internet.
I'm curious if it's going to get to a point where like full feature length like films are going to be made and distributed, and they're going to sell. Like,
well, also I know one reason why Pornhub did this was because they had issues with a lot of pirated content on their website,
which is a huge problem. Yeah, people
would upload entire feature length non pornographic films on their website, so you could watch like all of, I don't know, Mortal Kombat or whatever, like on Pornhub.com. So they did this as an attempt to crack down on some of the copyrighted content that may have been on there.
I think at the root of it, though, it's really to profit more. I mean, at the end of the day,
I think there was like 3 things.
I don't think they're giving a shit about like, oh wow, people found Mortal Kombat on Pornhub.com. Like, I don't think they're that worried about that,
because then they could get sued.
Well, yeah, copyright infringement.
So there's that. I think it was basically stuff to keep them out of legal trouble, which was copyright protections, potential child porn or revenge porn on there. Things that, because there's always going to be something that slips through the crack. You got millions and millions of websites on your millions and millions of videos on this site. Something's going to slip through the cracks.
Yeah, something's got to give.
Yeah. And so, I think it was three tiers. I think it was get rid of the copyrighted content, get rid of the illegal porn like revenge porn or child porn, and then also we're going to make money off of this.
Well, yeah.
So, and that was the main thing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm curious to see though what Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, what kind of verification models are going to be put into place?
Exactly.
Only time will tell, boys. So, let's see. Next week, got the holidays, tits the season.
Yep.
Let's say we'll have an episode, I think, out next week.
On Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. What day's Christmas?
Friday.
Yeah, we'll do an episode on Tuesday.
Okay, cool. So we'll be here, hopefully not locked down, and we'll be still able to talk to you boys through the sultry sounds of these microphones. Thank you for people that have actually. I got some DMs and some inquiries about some of the T-shirts and the actual store itself. Honestly, the store was just kind of a whim. We wanted to throw something out there for people that actually have enjoyed the show thus far. So for the OGs, the day one boys for life that have bought T-shirts and sweatshirts, we really do appreciate it. It does go a long way to keep supporting this show. This is the little engine that could podcast.
Oh yeah,
that basically is we're just trying to make the boys laugh, make you feel good.
Y'all know me. I'm Raps MVP.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me.
Okay. Didn't think I was going to hear the game tonight.
Yeah, you did. I'm full of surprises.
You are. You are. Anywho, so I will talk to you boys on social media, as always, at the Zach Edward and at Wine Boys Pod. Cop the shirts at teespring.com/stores/the Wine Boys. That's basically going to do it for us this week. And I love you with all of my heart, and we'll see you. Goodbye.
I love you. Please call me back.
We're doing porn now.